Well, hi, this is the June issue of the Mover magazine. There's a picture on the front. The picture comes from a trip that I did when Feedy was over in San Diego. I went to make the acquaintance of this guy. It's somebody that you probably all know, or a lot of you will know. I didn't know him until that moment, Rick Osea. He used to be with Crown up in California, and he's now with DeWitt. He's moved down to San Diego with DeWitt, and he's starting a new service, trying to build a new service providing transport into Mexico, into and from Mexico. It's quite an interesting story about that. I've also got something in next month's issue as well from Rick about working in that sort of area, which is kind of interesting. But you'll enjoy the story, I think, about what he's doing there. There's also another story that I told you about last month that I've done. I'm not sure whether I would say it's against my better judgment or not, but I've done it anyway. This is a story about Don Fisher. Now, I mentioned last month that, in fact, I put a story in last month about Don Fisher that was a report of the Feedy conference, because he was one of the speakers there at the Feedy conference. And so I put in a report about what he said. And I was kind of interested that because Don Fisher, for those of you who don't know, is an auditor who helps corporate accounts develop the tenders for removal services, and then audits the invoices when they come in. And speaking to people, I found that that the model that he uses to do this is not universally liked. Some people like it, a lot more people seem not to. And yet at the Feedy conference, nobody asked very many questions of him. Nobody challenged him really about what he does and the way that he does it. And I thought it would be interesting to talk to him and to just find out a little bit more about what he does and why he does it, and put some of the questions to him that I thought people perhaps should have put to him had they had the opportunity in San Diego. So I've done that. It's quite a big piece. It's a 3-page story. There's a lot of it, but he's been very frank about what he does. And some may say I let him off too easily. Some may say I was too hard on him. I don't know. You'll be the judge of that. But what I would say is that I'm really interested to know your comments. And so when you read the story, if you've been involved in this part of the business and you've been involved in working with Don Fisher and the other auditors, I'd be interested to know your opinions on what was said. And I promise you I will publish them if you send them to me. However, I'm not going to publish anything anonymously. So don't be tempted to write something and say you don't want your name used in the story. So if that's what you want to do, don't send it to me. I've stood up to the plate and be seen to be reckoned with to write the story in the first place. And if you'd like to comment, then I need you to put your name to your comments too. So that's, I think, is a reasonable way of doing it. But please, if you've got comments to make about the story, or you'd like to tell your side of the story, then please do send it in. There's one other thing. There's lots in it, of course, as always. There's loads in the magazine. But there's one other thing that I wanted to tell you about, and that is my leader here talks about GDPR. Now, you'll all be familiar with that by now, and you'll have seen all these emails that people have been sending out saying, please sign up for our newsletter, or whatever it is. Now, we did the same kind of thing. We sent out emails to all the people that received the online version, and I'm guessing that if you're watching this video now, then you must have come back positively and said, yes, I'd like to receive it. Thank you to all those people that did. I tell you, there were a great many of them, and we were delighted with the response. Of course, there have been some that fell away, which may well have been because they didn't get the email, or because they were busy, or whatever, I don't know. But if you come across anybody in your travels that say, I used to get the email from the Mover every month and now I don't, well, that will be the reason. And so all you have to do to get back on the list, if you've been taken off it or you know anybody who has, is just go to our website, which is themover.co.uk, and there's a button there that you can press to sign up to the email mail shot. Just click on there and we'll make sure that you get back in again. That's all for now. I hope you enjoy reading the magazine, and I hope that you write to me and tell me your thoughts. See you again next time. Bye.